build another dungeon. Another day, another dungeon. Build another dungeon. Alright, so today we are going to build Quest 8 of the original HeroQuest board game. This quest is called the Fire Mage. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. Oof, zoomed in pretty close. There we go. Alright, the Fire Mage. The Orcs of the Black Mountain have been using fire magic in their raids. Balor, the Fire Mage, is thought to be responsible for helping them. No fire magic can harm Balor, and the Emperor's wizards are unable to counter his spells. You have therefore been chosen to enter his lair deep beneath Black Fire Crag. The Emperor will reward each hero with 100 golds for Balor's destruction. Quest 8, 100 golds. It's kind of like chump change at this point. You're really just kind of going through the game to see what comes next, and hopefully get like an artifact card. Speaking of artifact card, she does in fact have one. It is the amazing Wand of Magic, which we'll go into. I say she because there's not enough like diversity in the HeroQuest adventure, so we're gonna recast Balor as like a lady. So let's see. Use cast warlock figure for Balor. Sure. Fire spells do not affect them. Good to know. Let's see. Balor has the following spells: Ball of Flame, Firestorm, Tempest, Summon Orcs, Fear, Escape, which is like a Dimension Door. Let's see. If they use the Escape, put them in that space until the heroes open the door. Treasure chest contains 150 gold, and the artifact Wand of Magic. Well, obviously Balor is going to be using Wand of Magic. Wandering monster in this quest, Famir. Okay. Famir, that makes sense. Got a fire lady. Lizard folk. Evil chaos lizard folk. That kind of makes sense. Let's take a look at the OG map. We have, let's see, staircase where they come in. And open a door. Brick wall. Head over. Zombie. Long-ass hallway. Zombie that can't actually do anything. Probably gets gunned down by a crossbow. We got a door here for Skellies and Balor. So Skellies and a Fire Mage, it's time to bust out the Fire Skeletons. Fire Skeletons are no joke. If I remember correctly, they could pull a fireball out of their chest, throw it at people, so that'll be cool. If we decide not to go with Fire Skeletons, we could go with Flaming Skulls, which are a phenomenal monster. Way more powerful than the CR says they are. Anyone that's run Lost Mines of Phandelver, you've probably almost killed a party with the Flaming Skull that lives in that adventure. Most low-level characters are not expecting a fireball from a floating skull. So let's see, we've got zombie, hella traps, so many traps. Then we wind all the way around, more skellies, and secret door. Secret door leads to a central area, a whole wing of random bullshit. Big boss room is obviously big boss room, and we've got mummies and zombies. Even though Famirs are the wandering monster, we don't actually see any Famirs on the map. And there's a lot of traps. Okay, so this is pretty cut and dry. All right, so let's go grab our map, which I think I have already downloaded to save some time. Maybe. Let's see where it is. Alright. Heroic Maps called this one Fort of the Fire Mage, because it can't actually be the same name, because it's obviously not the same. It's not HeroQuest. What are you talking about? This is like Quest of Heroes kind of deal. Let's see. Alright, we want the ungridded one, but it is a 30 by 30, so let's see. I think Quest 5 was pretty beefy. Yeah, so we'll duplicate Quest 5, and we'll rename it to Quest 8, hit enter to make sure it takes the values. We'll double check our settings. It's a 50 by 50, so we'll have a little bit of a margin. That's pretty good. Let's see, the grid's enabled. We're not using new dynamic lighting, we're using old dynamic lighting. We're not using advanced fog of war. Enabled, enforced line of sight. Only update on drop, and no global illumination. We might do global illumination because this is a half in, half out side map, and it has a lot of lava features. Lava makes a lot of light. So we may just do that. It also will help with performance too, but we'll see. Let's see. Restrict movement enabled. Okay, so let's jump into this map. It's going to be all blank, like they do. Because, again, when you duplicate a map, you don't actually duplicate the map, you only duplicate the map's settings. None of the assets from the map are duplicated. Let's see, will this work? Let's see. This is a pretty beefy map. It's 8.24 megs. It's pretty big. Biggest one you can do right now, as of this video, is 10 megs. It's very frustrating. I had a map the other day. It was like 10.00001 megs. I had to go and like shrink it just so it would load up. Let's see. It's taking a little bit of time. Things that are on the hit list here: fire skeletons for sure. And we also want more Famirs, which is good. Want the Fire Mage herself. Yeah, maybe Fire Elemental might be kind of cool. Oh, this is not outdoor. This is all volcanic caverns and stuff. Hype. Alright. And it's kind of got like a spiral layout, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to go to Advanced. I'm going to set dimensions. I have to do the drop down and change it to units. Came pretty close, came in at 25, but we need it to be 30 by 30. Set it to 30 by 30, center it so that I got lots of margins on either side. Good stuff. Right click, move it to the map layer. Going over to the left, going down to dynamic lighting. And they did something in an update where it no longer defaults to your color. So every time I go to get like a dynamic lighting drawing tool, it defaults to black, which is really frustrating, but it is what it is. Alright, I'm going to hold down shift to do snap to grid, and I'm going to make a bounding box around my dungeon. There we go. And we're just going to dive in and we're going to dynamically light this thing. So, it might be more fun to throw in the light sources first so that we can see what we're working with. It's such a bright... There's so many light sources, I almost feel like we should just do dynamic lighting everywhere, like just global illumination, but we could still kind of get some cool shadowy effects. So let's go ahead and drop in some fire tokens here. Alright, and these tokens are light sources that have already been set up for us. We're going to drop them down on the dynamic lighting layer, because we can make them any size we want and people aren't going to be able to see them. So that's pretty cool. Well, they'll see the light they generate, they won't see the actual icon. Alright, so I put that one down and then I'm just copy and pasting these. And again, it's like there's so much light here with all the lava and everything else that almost every area is going to be well lit. But this will still give us a couple of little areas with like pockets of shadows and stuff, and that'll be cool. Alright, I think that's all the light sources that we needed. If not, we'll know for sure once we add the walls back in. Alright, speaking of the walls, trying to get into a better habit of making destructible walls, so we'll see how that goes today. If the walls are particularly thick, I won't stress it, but in other areas I'm going to try to remember to terminate the line and start a new line more frequently instead of making huge, unending, unbreakable lines. So we'll just start right here. And the love-hate of a heroic map is that everything is very organic. So even like these layered shale walls, nothing is straight. Nothing is just a straight line, which looks great, but when you're doing dynamic lighting, it can kind of take a little bit longer than if you had a more static, structured linear map, I guess, where you could just snap to grid. Oh, hey. And terminate it there. Trying to get into that habit. And to terminate the line, I'm just right-clicking. Yeah, this is going to be HeroQuest Quest 8, the Fire Mage, which I think is next Wednesday, so it's right around the corner. Maybe? Maybe it's next Wednesday. Might be further out than that. I'm finally succumbing to quarantine time warp. It might actually be 2 Wednesdays out, because I think next week is still a pretty busy week for me. Yeah, because I think it's part of the week where I'm running 10 days in a row of Dungeons & Dragons games. Something like that. Like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think that might be 10 days. No. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? Yikes. Yeah, I don't know how many days that is. It's a lot of D&D. Technically, I don't run the game on Tuesdays, though, so... Instead, I do everything within my power to smash all the doors that I can find. So I ain't got time for looking for traps. Just kill me. Or open the door. Alright, there we go. Yeah, there's a lot going on this map. Can they do this map in 4 hours? I don't know. It's a pretty complicated map. Gonna have to be careful not to put too many encounters. We'll also have to check the pathing on the map. If it's super duper linear, that'll be a lot easier to set the pace. If it's a bit more freeform, like a lot of the maps we've done lately, then it'll be a little bit more difficult to set up encounters. We'll have to be prepared to drop or add encounters depending on how fast they're making it through the dungeon. And that's really the secret to running a one-shot, is identifying the absolute most important stuff that you need to happen, and then being willing to cut any other content to make sure that you get to run the content that matters. But yeah, look at all this wild geometry on this map. But from what I understand, and I've gotten to run a couple of dungeons now that DMs have used these maps, they're really nice. It's really nice to be down there as a player, kind of seeing all the detail on the map and exploring them and stuff like that. I grew up with the whole like dry erase mat and theater of the mind and super imagination and all that, and it was awesome. But at the same time, like nowadays, we've got Dwarven Forge and all these other 3D printable terrain, and you've got these virtual tabletops, and it's just so fancy. All right. Yeah, and all of my HeroQuest miniatures and furniture, they served decades as D&D miniatures and D&D props and terrain. But I think that's just a natural fate for any miniatures board game that comes into a Dungeons & Dragons house. Is the inevitable repurposing. I think the most recent victim of that was Massive Darkness, which was a game from Cool Mini or Not. And yeah, I didn't really think it was a very good game. But the minis were really cool, and you got a lot of them with the game. So they definitely filled out the ranks of just about every basic monster manual, monster or race you were looking for. Like, I don't even know if I kept the components. I think I played it a couple times and was like, yeah, no. And then just moved all the miniatures into the miniatures bin and just sort of, I don't know, threw the box out the window or something. Now this is interesting. There is a lava pool trapped in the wall here. So, I'm not really sure what to do about that. I guess I could stash some monsters in there. I guess I could connect it to one of the lava pools and put an incredibly rare magic item in there that if they find a way to swim in lava, they will be able to grab that. I don't know. But kind of a weird addition. Maybe she teleports somebody like into a room full of lava with no way out. That seems really shitty. So that definitely seems like a Tomb of Annihilation situation. But honestly, given how difficult a lot of the stuff they've had to deal with, I'm really impressed. None of the HeroQuest characters have actually died, and they've fought some pretty insane stuff. Oh, see? I'm not even on the dynamic lighting layer right now. I was like, just zoning out there. Alright, rather than retrace this, what I could do is I can left-click drag, select it, and then Control-C copy it. I can delete it off of whatever layer I stupidly went to instead. And then I could go back to dynamic lighting, push down on the mouse approximately where I think it needs to go, and then hit Control-V to paste it in. There we go. So if you ever accidentally kind of zone out, put it in the wrong spot, hey, what's up? That's pretty much the only way to do it, because you can't right click and then move it to the dynamic lighting layer for whatever reason. And these are some thin walls in this dungeon too. They really try to fit a lot of content in here. Nothing wrong with thin walls, but I mean, technically a thin wall could be knocked down pretty easily. In my Odyssey game with the Labyrinth adventure, I looked up the hit points of walls, and they're really not that strong. So pro tip in real life, I guess, if you ever decide to rob a house, just knock down the wall. It's probably going to be easier than going in through the front door. I don't know if that's like a life hack or what, but... Alright. Then we got another room here where they could, like, go into the room. You know what? Maybe there's, like, potions we could leave that allow them to swim in the lava. That would be kind of hype. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So we'll have these like secret chambers that can only be accessed by swimming in flippin' lava. Yeah, that works. Alright. They also like doing stuff like this, where I don't know if this is supposed to be like a tiny shaft that you have to squeeze through, like spelunking style, or if it's a secret passage, or if it's a little bit of both. So that's kind of interesting. So we'll go ahead later, when we do doors, we'll make it a secret passage. But yeah, this map is, there's a lot going on. Doing this in 4 hours, it's going to be tough. Alright, and we're just free tracing. We're not stressing it too much. They're going to come to this dungeon, they're going to leave this dungeon. So, as long as it's functional while they're there, it doesn't matter if you had a couple of mistakes or whatever, or if your lines aren't straight. You have enough to do as the DM without stressing yourself out about that kind of stuff. I like all the detailing on the floor there. It's pretty cool. I feel like they're going to see all this embossing on the floor, and they're going to just start searching for traps like crazy. There's another secret room that they could swim to. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to do early drops of swim in lava potions, because that'll be kind of a cool thing. Alright, let's see. I liked how in Minecraft the potion of fire resistance would allow you to swim in lava. I found that out the hard way when I fell in lava and was like, well, I guess that's that. And then I sunk to the bottom and I was like, oh, that's extremely cool. Like, I know, like, science-wise, lava is not just water, like hot water, it's like molten stone or whatever. Yeah, I guess I could have done that in Photoshop. I could have gone in and maybe done something with that. I have some effects that could fake a glow, so I could look into doing that. They're basically like overlays of color that sort of look like light. I keep meaning to pick up the animated spell circles pack off the Roll20 store, because those would be good to just drop in some of the bigger circles there to have the little glowing circles. The issue is lately animations seem to be running worse than before with the latest update, so I've been trying to avoid too many animated assets on a map if I can help it. Alright, let's see. Ooh, we got a gargoyle there. Pretty hard not to put a gargoyle down if there's a gargoyle on the map. I mean, gargoyle, it's one of the greatest parts of HeroQuest. Alright, let's see. We've got this. Oh, obvious secret door. Hold on. We've got secret door right there. That must be the secret door that they're trying to pay homage to in the from the original, so that's cool. Alright, do we have any other walls, or is everything else a secret door? Or a door? Alright, let's go ahead and add the doors now. We're going to switch to green. And wherever possible, I'm going to use like a little square for the green. I'm going to use, there we go, a little square for the green. Just because they're easier to grab. Hey! There we go. Alright, these guys need to be done independently. There we go. There we go. Alright, a lot of doors in here. Oh, door over here. We're going to have to say that these doors are not wood, even though they were drawn like wood. Because lava, right? Pretty sure that they would die, the doors that catch on fire. So we could take the fantasy approach and say it's ironwood. We don't have any druids in the party, so it's not like they're going to get overly excited about the revelation that there's ironwood. I don't know. Ironwood allows druids to make, you know, medium and heavy armor that they can wear without religious penalties. So they get a little excited when they find out about that. Alright. Looks like we have all the doors. Now we're going to add the secret doors. Alright. I'm actually going to try out something new. I'm going to do the secret doors in blue. So there's 1, 2. Okay. Let's see. I do want to zoom in here because how we place this will make it more or less obvious that there's a secret door there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it being obvious that there's a secret door there, because if they're looking that closely at the map, maybe they deserve to find it, right? There we go. Sweet. Okay. So, I think that is all our doors and all of our dynamic lighting. So there are some areas that are dark, but mostly the whole map is lit. And that's totally okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm going to leave dynamic lighting layer. And I'm going to go to the GM layer. And from the GM layer, I'm going to start dropping down stuff that will end up populating the dungeon. Now, I've actually seen other people's videos making dungeons and posting on social media, and they have posted some really cool ideas. So I'm actually going to start incorporating some of those ideas into my own workflow. One of them is, instead of typing in a bunch of notes on the DM's layer, you drop some kind of icon on the DM's layer, and then in the notes for that icon or that asset, that's where you would just dump all of your notes that you needed for that section, which is super smart. Alright, so let's see. They're going to come in the front door, so that'll be the entrance. So let's see. Go ahead and drop these number dealies down. There we go. Alright. So drop this number 1 on the GM's layer, and I double click on it, and I just put under the GM notes, entrance. If I actually had written notes ahead of time, I could copy and paste them in. Cool. Let's see. This is still area 1, so we're going to introduce lava. Alright. So, lava. The DM's guide has rules for lava. Lava is pretty nasty. We will honor said rules. Lava in D&D is nasty, but it's not nearly as nasty as it is in real life. So anybody who's listening to this, please don't go out and go near lava, because you will hurt yourself. Alright, that's all I got. That's your public service announcement. I don't think it's actually listed under lava. I think I gotta go environmental hazard. There we go. Dungeon hazards. Yeah, I'm over here on D&D Beyond. So let's see. Dungeons. We're in dungeon hazards. Mold, slimes, webs. Come on, where's lava at? Let's see. Are you under unusual? No. Wilderness? Where's my lava? Okay. Why can I not find the rules for lava? Alright, lava child. All right, I'm gonna have to Google it. Unless anybody in chat knows what where I could find the rules for the official rules for lava. All right, page 249 of the Dungeons Master's Guide. Okay. Let's see, sources, Dungeon Master's Guide. It technically doesn't have pages because it's a digital book, but cool. I guess this is one of those times where you want to own the book. Let's see, wading through lava, being submerged in lava. Let's see. Oh, this person actually made an entire, like, homebrew document on how to deal with lava. I feel like that might be overcomplicating our lives, though. Oh, yeah, so Roll20 added this thing for compendium sharing where you could toggle on and off what you were sharing to members of a campaign. So you can share your compendium content with 5 different campaigns. And then they added the feature that you could turn off certain compendium features. So if you had access to a whole bunch of compendium features, but you didn't want people in your Storm King's Thunder game to be able to look up Curse of Strahd information on accident. So you would just say you don't have access to Curse of Strahd. Or like with Odyssey has a bunch of, like, everything for Odyssey is just pasted into Roll20 handouts, but those handouts are also searchable. So any of your players could accidentally search anything that has to do with the campaign, not just monsters, but anything, and basically get the final boss stat blocks, the motivations for all the bad guys, all the big secrets about the entire campaign. They could accidentally stumble upon them or easily stumble upon them. Now, admittedly, in the age of information, they could get that information anyway, but it's better to, limit the amount of accidental ways that you could do that. D&D Beyond had the same issue when they first opened up Legendary tier sharing. You either could share everything or nothing. So Roll20 added the feature, but the feature, it shuts off compendium access for everybody, including the DM. So the DM shuts off compendium access so the players can't look ahead and get information, but then they themselves can't actually use the compendium that they paid $50 for to run the campaign. Yeah, so very disappointed in how that turned out. Oh, let's see. These are all from Nord Games. The critical hit cards and the treasure cards. The HeroQuest treasure cards are the original HeroQuest cards. I scanned my physical copy into the game and just used that. And I did that just by building a deck of cards, which you can actually do. Just build a deck of cards. It's pretty cool. Alright, let's see. Here's an entire article about lava that somebody wrote. They said, lava's so hot, if you fall into lava, you just dead. Okay. Strong advice. Wow, it seems like everybody's kind of got mixed feelings about what you should do with lava. And everyone keeps referencing page 249 of lava, saying that it does 10d10 damage. So, we're going to stick with 10d10 damage then. Alright. So, lava, 10d10. Fire and bludgeoning damage. Because, it's rocks. And then we'll say if you are submerged, you take 20 d10. There, that's basically killing you. Okay. And we could probably split it, so we could do like 5d10 fire and 5d10 bludgeoning, but if we make it like dual type damage, we could argue that you have to have resistance to both damage types to have resistance to the damage, which makes it even more deadly. So that's what we'll do with lava. Right, yeah, so they kind of rushed out a new feature and then have to fix the new feature. Or not. They seem to think that that's what people wanted. Hopefully enough people give them feedback that that is not what they wanted. Alright, so they enter the dungeon and the first thing they find in the original is some zombies. We're not going to have some zombies because zombies, I'm tired of running zombies. Let's see. They're going to go down this hallway and there's going to be a pool that they could jump into. They still don't have access to these potions. The potions that are going to allow them to go into lava. So we're going to put those in this treasure chest right here. So let's do that. There we go. Okay, so these potions make you immune to fire and bludgeoning damage. How convenient. For, I don't know, 10 minutes? Should be enough time to explore. Okay. And then we'll say that there are 6 of them. 12 of them? There we go. That's enough for potential screw-ups. They each get 2 potions, basically. Alright. Then we've got 2 scimitars over here. Wouldn't it be cool if those scimitars were like flame tongue scimitars? It would be cool. We're at a point where everybody's getting super strong anyways. Let's go ahead and make these 2 flame tongue scimitars. Or one could be a flame tongue scimitar and one could be a dancing scimitar. Go real crazy. Sweet. Let's see. I feel like somebody should be in there to use said scimitars against them, so this would be an excellent time to add a drow. Yes, a drow that uses scimitars. Okay. So we'll bring this guy out. There technically aren't a drow in Warhammer. There are dark elves, but you know, it's the same thing. Ooh, living armor would be kind of cool too. But scimitars, I feel like we kind of want to go on the nose. We'll put like, this guy's name will be Frizzle. Not Drizzit. There we go. Good, strong name. Alright. So, let's see. He will snatch up the scimitars and defend himself in the area. Hype. Okay. So, we also know the dungeon's going to have a bunch of Famir. So, we could just mix those in wherever. Alright, let's see. We could, instead of having all the lava potions be in one place, we could have a random amount and then stash them in each treasure chest. So when they draw a treasure card, they also get that many extra potions. That could work too. So we'll do like a 1d4 plus 2 potions in this cache. Sweet. Which means we could then copy this number 2 and paste it next to all the treasure chests. Sweet. Oh, the party, I think the level, I want to say 6 now? Level 6? So they're going to be pretty strong. Yeah, I'm reading that comment about the inventory stuff. When I was much younger, and we had, I think, less stuff to worry about in life in general, we we went to the trouble of making like a full-on like body chart that tracked like where you had stuff equipped and the hit points of your equipment and if it got damaged when you got attacked and maintaining your gear and all that stuff. Stuff that later on became like the basis for, you know, most video games. So that involve like damage to equipment and stuff like that. Ultimately, 5th edition, some friends and I tried to bring that sort of stuff back. And we, you know, it was like, oh, well, mending spell. And then obviously the solution would just be, well, then there's no mending spell. Pick a different cantrip. So, I don't know. It takes a lot of work, I think, to fit it into 5e, because 5e is just all about convenience and ease of play, which is never a bad thing. It's just, you know, it's just an easier, more accessible game than these earlier editions. Now, the cool thing about it is because it is like that, you can layer difficulty on top of it very easily, as long as everybody's on board for it. What was the question? What was the drow searching there originally? Originally the dungeon just had skeletons, just a bunch of skeletons and undead and stuff like that. There was a very limited amount of monsters to work with, so we're still going to throw some flaming skeletons, but I don't think I have any flaming skeletons with my more modern tokens. Like, I got this bad boy from when I ran 4E stuff. You look pretty cool. But I use like portrait minis now, so I'd have to go grab a portrait mini. That being said, we can go and look up what our skeleton options are. Let's see. I almost want to say flaming skeletons have to... We might have to just make up a flaming skeleton. Dang. Well, that's kind of cool. A living burning hand spell. This is from Wildmount. Okay, I'm interested. Let's see, they're only CR1. They're slow, but they could fly. They're resistant to non-magical attacks. Everybody's got magic stuff, though. They're immune to fire, of course. Construct, so that's going well for them. They can go amorphous, which is nice. Magic resistance. Let's see. They can grab you. And let's see. They can spell mimicry. They could basically create, without actually casting the spell, which is important, a burning hands. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, we'll definitely need those guys. Alright, so we'll make sure those guys are included in our roster. Oh yeah, I actually have to back out of this because I turned off stuff for Compendium, and now you can see up here, it says one result was removed from your search based on your campaign share settings. So since I limited access on here, I also limited access to myself, even while I'm building like content. I can't access the stuff. That's how frustrating this new update is. At least to me. I don't know. Maybe some people like not being able to access the stuff that they paid money for, but that's not how I feel about it. Alright, so I guess I could show you what I mean. Let's see. Compendium, where are you at? There we go. Compendium settings. So here you can see everything that I've purchased, and then it's showing that there's stuff that I've turned off that I can't access. Whereas if it was green, I would be able to access it, but all my players could also access it. There's no way to prevent just the players. Yeah. See, you limit it to you and your players. So it's what they intended to happen, but it doesn't make any sense to me. So, oh well. Alright, let me refresh, and hopefully I'll have access to that stuff. Now, since we don't have a flaming skeleton, which I could have sworn there was a flaming skeleton officially, We could make skeletons that are flaming skulls, or we could just have flaming skulls, or we could just homebrew something really quick. Now these flaming hands, they're definitely a nice mix, like change of pace, and maybe we'll just go with those instead. But she did have a lot of skeletons in the OG game, which could have just been because she only had like 8 monsters to choose from. But it would be kind of cool to still have some skeletons in there. So let's see. Alright, Flaming Sphere, nope. Burning, nope. Okay. So yeah, we'll have to, yeah, I guess we'll have to add something in ourselves. Okay. Because here is Skull Lantern and Flame Skull. We could take a look at both of these guys. I don't know what makes Flame or Skull Lantern different than Flame Skull. Wow, okay. Skull Lantern is only got a CR 1/4. Let's see. When immersed in magical darkness, it emits a bright flash of light powerful enough to dispel darkness in the area and cause bright light. Undead Fortitude, like a zombie. That's kind of cool. Skull Lantern opens its mouth, releasing a searing beam of light, so it shoots a little laser beam out of its mouth. That's kind of cool. Auto damage, unless they have evasion or shield master. And it's only a 15-foot line. It's kind of adorable. And then they could bite you for barely any damage. Okay, so I'll put that with the other kind of turdy monster. Okay, and then we've got the actual Flame Skull. Now this could be kind of cool, mixing in Flame Skulls with Skull Lantern, especially if we use the same miniature, because then they don't know which one's which. Flame Skull is a much different creature than the Skull Lantern. Flame Skull CR4, can cast Fireball, can cast Searing Ray, is immortal, has magic resistance, etc., etc. So that could be kind of cool, sort of mixing and matching the two. And has significantly more hit points as well. Alright, so these are our crappy little fire guys. So we definitely have that going on. Let's see. We're going to have... Oh, you know what? They could even come out of these braziers as they're exploring. Yeah. And we don't want to have too many encounters because this is a huge map. So we want them to be able to kind of move from one place to another sort of thing. So I probably should have assembled like a list of all the most fiery monsters and just made it like a smorgasbord of fire opponents. Alright. Now, they could, theoretically, let's follow the path that they're going to take. They're going to come in, they're going to go through this door. They're going to go into this room. They're going to see a gargoyle. They're going to freak out on the gargoyle. While they're freaking out about the gargoyle, we'll have a bunch of skulls come pouring out of this brazier. That may or may not alert Fariz Not Drizzle in the next room, who will grab his Flame Tongue Scimitar and, let's see, what else? His Dancing Scimitar. So then he'll run into the room, join the fray, all that kind of stuff. Cool. If they're quiet about it, which they won't be, he won't join the fray and he'll be caught surprised in this room. Sure. Let's see. Then technically they could go through this break room area and explore this whole suite of rooms right here, or they could go out here, and then there is some lava to explore, as well as spoopy hallway. So there are some worms. Maybe I'm also thinking about an earlier edition of D&D. There used to be like some lava worms. Man, there's no lava worms now either. Sadness. Okay. Do they have a different name? Maybe with a U? Lindworm. No, it's gonna be too big. It's gonna be too big. Alright. I know they got magma babies. Yeah, Magman. Yeah, Magman could be cool, but that's just another, like, low-level yard trash, you know, you take damage because I blow up kind of thing. But, I mean, that could be kind of fun. So we could have them come out of this pool. So we'll maybe do that. These 3 passages here, this is where we'll put our Famirs, since that's the main thing that works for her. Alright. Okay. It's got some Famirs in there. Cool. So either way, they're going to go through this suite of rooms, or they're going to go through this passageway. So this is so far a very linear dungeon. Now, they might discover the secret door here, and that will allow them to skip all the way down to here, because that secret door leads to this room, leads to here. To make things uncomfortable for them, we could have a fire elemental. Do I have a fire elemental already in here? No. I gotta go grab one from my monster manual. Okay. So I'm gonna use the transmog tool. I'm gonna go over to Roll20 game where I just store stuff. And I'm gonna go grab a fire elemental. Oh, it says I already have a fire elemental. Well, where the hell are you living, fire elemental? Oh, okay. Well, I think I want to bring a different fire elemental over. Here we go. Sweet. Fire elemental. So we will have fire elemental be here, and basically if you pass through this secret passage, and you trigger like the defensive runes here, it will summon a fire elemental. Fire elemental is an amorphous creature, so it does not have to worry about squeezing. But any spaces that it goes into, it's going to set people on fire, so that'll be pretty terrifying. Alright, so we'll move him to the GM lair. Oh yeah, there's fire beetles. That's another thing we could do. I'm kind of bummed about the fire skeleton thing. Here we go. Burning skeleton. It was a monster of the day, like a million years ago. 4 years ago. It's kind of like a million years ago. So we could just bring in these jabrones. They technically, according to the person who made them, only have a CR of 1. They are vulnerable to bludgeoning and cold, so they're going to die like super easy. They do get to make 2 attacks, and they do have flaming weapons, which is pretty cool. And they have a heated body, so they have a built-in damage shield. So that's all they have going on for them. They can't grab a fireball out of their chest and throw it, but we have flaming skulls that could do that, so I guess it's just as good. Alright. So then they go into... If they took the shortcut, they end up in this hallway and save a significant amount of time. If they don't go into that hallway and they fight their way through all these Famirs, they end up over here, and there's this big brazier right here. Now, obviously, there's going to be expectations that something's going on with this brazier. We could just not have anything, but I don't know. They're also going to wonder about these dummies that have like armor on them. Not sure what to do with this room yet. Could be something fun, like Magic Fountain style. Like if you, I don't know, climb into this fire, you would not take fire damage. It's like a religious thing where they sort of baptize themselves with fire. I never really turned the fire elemental's aura off. I always just have them burn all the time. Well, let's see. Fire form. Yeah, I mean it doesn't take an action to activate, so I'm assuming it's always going. Yeah. I mean, it's literally made of fire, so I don't know how it would not be on fire. Alright, so then we got this room over here. There's another secret door opportunity. And it would take them out to the hallway. Cool. Okay. So either way, they wind up in these hallways right here. Now this leads to a dead end, and there'll be a bunch of skull lanterns that come to life and try to kill them. So let's throw a note down about that so we don't forget. Alright, here we go. So we'll do 5 skull lanterns and 1 flaming skull. And of course, we add a lot of content and then we drop the content we don't need if we run out of time. Alright, and we could do something similar here. Maybe not as many, but same deal. Alright, so they come down into this room. They either appear here or here. So, eventually they make it to the boss's room, which is here. Do we honor the original adventure, have her fight them early on, and then retreat? That would be kind of hype. We could have her appear here, they fight, and then she teleports back. That would be pretty cool. So, let's do that. Alright. Balor here teleports at 50% health to main room. Cool. Alright. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. We got a potion area. This could be where they make the fire resistance potions and stuff like that. We got like a library because she's a mage, so they're going to want to loot scrolls. That's fine. Let's see. Lots of loot here. This would probably be where her students would be. So I'm thinking we put a bunch of orc warlocks in this area. Because, I mean, technically she's teaching the orcs how to use magic. So let's see. Fire Mage Neophytes. And we'll make this super big. Also looks like I forgot to draw a wall here. No, we did. Oh, it's just so skinny. Okay. Wow, that's gonna drive me crazy. So I'll add just a little bit. There we go. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll fill this up with our students. That's cool. Let's see. Over here, this would be like a warehouse area. No, this looks like another area where they're studying magic. This is a mage-heavy dungeon. There's gonna be a lot of magic users. Alright, if that's the case, let's see. Ooh, you know what? Fire imps. That's what we could have for all these wannabe fire mages to use as familiars. So the fire imp is another kobold press monster, so you know it's super strong. Alright, they're only CR half, but magic resistance, heat metal. Yeah, heat metal. But a very easy DC. And when they take fire damage, they actually heal from fire damage, which is kind of cool. They can throw fire, all that, so we'll definitely have some of those mixed in with some fire mages. Which, let's see. We'll just throw in some traditional mages. That's cool. But we'll switch them out for orc art instead of that weird tiefling that's looking off into the distance. And let's see. Got another hallway like this. This south hallway, we could add the beetles that were mentioned earlier. So let's check on beetles. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like, you can't have a dungeon full of lava and just have regular books. Alright, giant fire beetle. A classic. Oh, there are flame cultists? Oh, right, from Elemental Evil, or whatever it was. Let's see. Oh, I don't actually think I own that one. I'd have to look it up on D&D Beyond. Oh, wait, I forgot about this guy. Golem Altar of Flame. It's basically like a WoW Infernal, but in Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah, that could be cool for Final Fight. Yeah, so let's drag this big boy over. There we go. That'll be what the gargoyle stats are. There we go. So we just need to get like a fiery gargoyle, but we'll give it that guy's stats. Cool. Alright. We just have a bunch of mages kind of wandering around. I guess the question here is, do we want to make the door locked and they have to find a way in, or do we want them to just go in? And the answer is both. Because we're trying to make this one shot go the amount of time we need it to. Let's see. So let's move this to the GM layer and move ourselves back to the GM layer. So this will say door locked if time remains to find entry. Else, door not locked. There you go. So it's locked if we need it to be locked, and it's unlocked if we need it to be unlocked. Who has the key? Somebody in Area 6 has a key. So that's that. Can't they just pick the lock? Can't they just blast it down? I guess. But we could just say that she's a super powerful spellcaster, and they just can't do that. So, alright. Let's see. What are we looking at for stats here? We don't want her to be just like Grak. So we do want some kind of wizrobe that is all about fire. Let me look on D&D Beyond to this flame cultist steel. Okay, Eternal Flame Guardian. Sounds kind of dope. Let's see. Eye of Fear and Flame also sounds cool. Dwegar Keeper of the Flame, less cool. Let's see. I don't know though. Evil Dwarves could be kind of cool. Could make her an evil dwarf. Let's see. Dwegar Keepers of the Flame. What adventure are you guys from? Let's see. They could turn invisible, get big, all that cool stuff. This dungeon would actually support that, which would be kind of cool. But she's training orcs, not dwarves, so kind of not feeling that. Let's see. Enhanced ability, spiritual weapon, guidance, all that jazz. Could... Nah, I was gonna say we could reskin, but I mean, it's kind of stepping on the Dwegar's toes if we give orcs the ability to get big. Let's see. Eye of Fear and Flame. This is an undead creature, chaotic evil. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I don't remember who the boss is from the Flame Cultist. I guess I could, like, look up the adventure real quick. This thing seems pretty cool. It's immune to turning, which is whatever. I was going to make this boss immune to counterspelling, which would be kind of cool. Let's see. Gemstone Eyes, the Eye of Fear and the Eye of Flame shoot one of the following magical eye rays. That's cool and all, but I guess she's not really an undead, though she did have Fear listed as one of her abilities, which is kind of cool. So maybe we will harvest some of those abilities onto that person. Here we go. We got an Eternal Flame Guardian. Yeah, okay. This is from Cult of the Eternal Flame as a monster tag. So I guess I could search with that. Alright, so we're going to go to Monsters. And let's see, Advanced Filters. And tags. Here we go. Cult of the Eternal Flame. Show me all the Cult of the Eternal Flame monsters. Alright, here they are. Oh, is this him? Vanifer? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. Vanifer is a lady. And we wanted a lady. Alright. Let's see. Funeral Pyre. When they drop to 0, their bodies consumed in a flash of smoke and fire. Anything they're wearing. Why don't you blow up like a Baylor? You gotta blow up like a Baylor. What else do you got? Decent spells. 10th level spellcaster. Health is alright. Alright, yeah, we'll use Vanifer. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll even use this art for the mini. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I'm digging that. Okay. Let's see. So we'll combine Vanifer with that weird undead creature, and we'll make the weird undead creature's abilities her legendary actions. So that sounds good. Okay. Alright. And then we just got regular mages in training going around, that kind of thing. Alright, so let's see. Looks like we've got another light source on the dynamic lighting layer. There we go. Alright, let's see what we could do here. I guess we'll just make it from scratch. Yeah, I don't really feel like modifying a token. Okay, so let us make Baylor, aka Vanifer, aka the Eye of Fear and Flame. So here we go. We're going to go to character. We're going to call this Baylor. Baylor Vanifer, comma, the Eye of Fear and Flame. There we go. Nice big title. Alright. And we're creating an NPC. And that's her name. And let's get to work. So she's a medium humanoid. I guess she's technically a fiend, so we could just call her a fiend, but then she's subjected to all the nastiness of fiend stuff. Yeah, why not? Alright, so she's a medium fiend, and she is neutral evil. Alright, what's her armor class? 15 with studded leather and a nice dexterity? Sure. I feel like you wouldn't have studded leather in a fire dungeon, but that's cool. Let's see. She got a lot of HP. Not enough to survive more than 2 rounds, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, she's got 30-foot speed. That works. Alright, let's look at these stats. She a nerd, so she only got 11 strength, but she got a 16 dex and a 17 constitution, 12 int, and 13 wisdom with a 19 charisma. I guess she was originally a sorcerer, but we need her to be a wizrobe, so we will go ahead and give her an 18 intelligence to go with that 19 charisma. Alright, she doesn't have any special saves. Since she's a wizrobe, we could give her proficiency in that, but she's already got a pretty good save, and there's really not a lot of intelligence saving throw things, at least not until Psionics drop later this year, officially. Let's see. She's got training in Arcana, which I don't know how that's going to help her. Let's see. She got training in Deception. Also, not sure. Performance. Okay. So, will all come in handy. Let's go ahead and give her... she'd have a better Arcana, because her intelligence is higher. Let's go ahead and give her a Acrobatics. There we go. Alright, so she is immune to fire. Cool. Let's see. She's going to speak Common. Where are you at? Languages. There we go. Alright, she's going to have Dark Vision, 60 feet. And a Perception of 11. Okay. Let's see. Condition immunities. It would be nice if she had some immunities. Let's see. What does the Eye of Fear and Flame have going? He is immune to blinded, charm, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned. Cool. We'll just steal all those. Bloop. Alright. Let's see. Well, we'll leave poisoned out. Okay. Let's see. Oh, intimidation? Yeah, that'd be cool too. Let's do that. I don't think I've ever managed to do that, but I sometimes will use intimidation as an opposed roll to the player character using intimidation to see if the thing they're trying to intimidate is so intimidating that it's not intimidated. Alright, let's see. Hide her name. Never whisper rolls. All that's correct. She's got legendary actions. Technically, she's got 2, but we got a 6-person party, so we'll give her 3. She will have reactions, of course, because spellcaster. And she's a spellcasting NPC. Her spellcasting is going to be intelligence. Her caster level is listed as 10. That works. Okay. So all that's looking pretty good. So we'll minimize that. And let's see. She has counterspell immunity. Because it says that her spells can't be countered. Wow. There we go. Alright. Balor's spells cannot be countered. That's easy enough. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh. Legendary actions. The Eye of Fear and the Eye of Flame. So here is the Eye of Fear. Sweet. And here's the Eye of Flame. Now we could put these on a recharge, which might be kind of cool, which would, since they're very powerful, we could do like recharges on a 4+. There we go. So that if luck is not on their side, they will have to resort to some crappy thing, which will probably just be use a legendary action to cast Firebolt or something. Or Bonfire. That's always fun. Nah, it uses concentration. High-level caster's not going to be throwing out no bonfires. Okay. Alright, so that's that. Let's see. Alright. Let me check Vanifer's actual sheet. She can attack with her weapon Tinder Strike, which looks like another flaming weapon. It's a flaming dagger. We already have a flaming weapon in the dungeon, so let's hold off on that. She is advertised as having a wand, and the wand itself in HeroQuest allows you to cast, if I'm not mistaken, two spells on the same turn, which is kind of hype. So we'll say that she definitely has that. Basically, I guess in D&D terms, it would let you quicken spell like a sorcerer. Yeah, there's like this supplement called Giphy. I'm trying to remember the name of it now. Giphy Glyph? Yeah, so Giphy Glyph is an amazing resource if you want help making a balanced and challenging monster. It utilizes a lot of stuff from 4th edition, a little bit of stuff from 3rd edition and 3.5 in Pathfinder, and it basically understands that in 5e people have 6 or more players, and those players are using UA content and Xanathar's content and all sorts of crazy stuff, and rolling for stats and taking feats on top of that, and getting a feat at 1st level so that they don't feel left out by the variant human having one. And when all that is said and done, there is no published encounter that could ever hope to challenge those people. So that Giphy Glyph, it's a really cool application and rule set for building custom boss monsters. So I don't bother to use it. I just sort of make stuff up and hope for the best, which is not a very teachable moment, but it's kind of where I'm at. All right, let's see. So she's gonna have the Wand of Magic. Can quicken spells. Sweet. Oh, really? Let's see. If Vannifar is in the fire node while Emix isn't, she can take layer actions and has a challenge rating of 12. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. She uses a layer action to cast one of her spells up to 3rd level without using components. That's cool. She can't cast the same spell 2 times in a row, although she can concentrate or continue to concentrate on a spell she previously had cast using a layer action. Vannifar can take no other layer actions while concentrating on a spell cast as a layer action. Her favorites are Fireball and Hypnotic Pattern. Whoa, those are 2 very good picks. If she casts Misty Step using this layer action, she also draws on the fire node, regaining 3d8 plus 2 hit points. Okay, we will say in her hands, that is what the Wand of Magic does. In the player hands, of course, it will not nearly be that strong. Alright, cool. In the player hands, it's going to give them, like, I don't know, like 3 sorcerer points, and then they can use those to quicken spell. And that's basically what the item does. So, steals a class feature. Alright, awesome. So let's start dragging over spells for this lady. According to this, she's got a lot of spells, and I don't necessarily need all the spells, and I'm the only person that's going to be running this monster, so I'm going to keep it simple. I'm also just going to take everything that has fire. So, Fairy Fire, Firestorm, Wildfire, Fireball. Do we do Firebolt yet? Firebolt. Delayed Blast Fireball? Sure. And create Bonfire? Why not? Let's see. All that seems pretty good. Alright. And then we're going to go and give her Burning Hands. See, the thing is, like, enemy spellcasters, they don't live long enough to use anything but their best fucking spells. So, like, it's cool to have, like, this whole spell list and be like, look at all these cool spells, but, like, you're not going to use any of these spells. You're going to live for, like, 2 rounds. You're going to live for 2 rounds. So you're going to cast a couple spells, and then you're going to die. So you're obviously going to open with, like, Dominate Monster and Wall of Flame and all that good stuff, and then you're going to, you know, work into this other stuff. Alright, let's see. But I love that she has Counterspell and can't be countered. That's going to be obnoxious. So put that down there. And let's see. Of course, the Fireball and Hypnotic Pattern that she wants to alternate between. Fantastic. Also like tying her layer action to the wand, because if they realize the wand's doing it, they're going to probably try to tackle her and take the wand away, which will make the fight a little bit more interesting than just a normal, like, beat-up spellcaster fight. Alright, and then we're going to need Hellish Rebuke, because that's what she's going to use her reactions for. We're not going to give her Shield. And then Misty Step, so that she can get that bonus action heal going on there. Sweet. Alright. So, that's what we've got there. Technically, these two spells are too high in level to cast, so let me delete them. Alright. Did the Eye of Fear and Flame have any spells that we're missing out on? True Seeing, Etherealness, Detect Good and Evil, Detect Thoughts. Hey, let's give her Detect Thoughts. That sounds kind of cool for a bad guy Wizrobe. Again, doubtful she's going to get to use it. There's not a lot of role-playing that goes on. They're hired by the Empress to kill this woman. They're not really going to make friends with her. It's I kind of like that about the HeroQuest adventure, is it's very like black and white. They're like, you're the good guys, and these are bad guys. And that's that. And don't worry about it. Don't worry about it beyond that. Sweet. Okay. So, we've got her statted out. I'll need to make a mini for her. I'll need to find a fiery gargoyle. We've got this wing full of Wizrobes for her to train. Oh, we got to do the swimming in the stuff. So we want to do like a secret side quest of swimming in lava. So the best thing we could do for that is going to go to dynamic lighting. Nope, I'm going to go to DM Slayer. There we go. And I'm going to grab some color-coded nodes, maybe. It could be kind of cool. All right, let's see. All right. That's not nearly as bright as I thought it was going to be. We'll just use obnoxious markers. Okay. So, let's see. They can dive in here. And that will lead to here. That seems pretty straightforward. Okay. And then, let's see. Ooh, you know who we didn't think about? Salamanders. Salamanders would have been kind of cool. Alright, let's see. They could dive in here and swim to here. Okay. Let's see. They could dive in here and swim to there. Oh wow, this would be super hype. But if they thought to go back to the lava there, they could swim and just boom, shortcut to the boss. That'd be kind of cool. Then we'll definitely do the whole like wall of force prevents entry. You must find a way in. Blah blah blah. All right, cool. So we've got our secret lava conduits. Plus, I doubt they're gonna go that far into the dungeon to get enough potions to go into the lava and then think to backtrack all the way back to the beginning. But it'd be kind of cool if they did. So that's why we'll have that there. Yeah. All right. This is a treasure-heavy dungeon for sure. Look at all the treasure chests. Oh my god. Yeah, glad I got these cards here. We'll just deal out one per treasure chest and just call it a day. What I can do also is take the leftover scrolls that were not found in the last adventure, and those will be the ones that are here, and we'll just say that they are heat-treated scrolls. So that's fine. Consumable magic items are cool because you don't have to stress them too much, because if you give them an item that's incredibly powerful but it's a consumable, you're only going to have to deal with it so many times and then it's going to go away. So especially when you're first starting out DMing, if you decide to homebrew a magic item, make it consumable. Make it like a limited run thing. Oh yeah, traps. I kind of was treating like the skull lanterns as traps, but because at this point they're so good at finding traps. But let's go ahead and take a look at let's see. Alright. They got a lot of pit traps. And they've got a lot of shooty traps. So I feel like we don't really need a bunch of shooty traps, because we're going to have a bunch of these like crappy skull lanterns that are going to be shooting lasers out of their mouth at you. But we could throw a few pit traps in there, which would be kind of fun. Especially if those pit traps dropped you into lava. Alright. So there's a good one. Because everybody else knows to just go through here because these mag babies live here. So that'd be cool. So we'll put that there. Let's see. Could make it really hard, make it actually 15 feet across. That'd be kind of cool. Alright. And probably make it generate some light when it appears. Let's see. They're able to find the traps, so it'll be harder to survive them, and yeah, just. Yeah, like an amulet, maybe. That if you're wearing it, the skull lanterns stop attacking you. That could be kind of hype. I like the idea that the outer ward guards would not have such an amulet. But the inner ward guards, or the students basically, would. So yeah, we'll just say that each of them has an amulet. Prevents skulls and hands from attacking. Cool. Alright, where would another good place to put lava? Yeah, down here would be good. So we'll do another lava pit right there. There we go. And then, of course, there's beetles in this hallway as well, or a couple beetles maybe, and they sort of are messing with you while you're dying in lava. Unless they're constantly under the effects of these potions, then it's just inconvenient and will treat the lava like quicksand. Alright. Any other place that might be a cool spot to put a trap? I mean, again, unless they're in the midst of combat, they're totes going to find it. And we do have a trap here as well, with the Fire Elemental. So we've got Fire Elemental, 2 pit traps, and then all of these sconces are going to have a chance to be Flame Skulls and attack you. Well, Flame Skulls and Skull Lanterns, so that's cool. Alright. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. Oh, like from the cave ceiling? Yeah, there is a monster for that, the Piercer, but I don't know. Piercers are so lame. Aw, look at them. Just look at them. God, it's like heartbreaking. Yeah, basically it's like a worm that like attaches to the ceiling along with a bunch of stalactites, and then it drops down on you. That's its whole life. And after it hits, if it doesn't kill you, it just sort of flops around on the ground, as shown in this picture. So, yeah. I mean, I guess I could put them in there for the lulz, because they are a pretty funny monster to deal with. Maybe instead of these mag babies, because mag babies are kind of overdone anyways. Now, what would be cool is they could distract essentially from the pit down below, because they're so busy keeping your eyes on the ceiling, sort of thing. That could be kind of cool. All right. Yeah, I'm thinking it's pretty good. So one of the things I'm going to grab real quick is door frames, because I'm trying to get into the habit of putting down door frames as they explore the dungeon. Or I could just start putting down the door frames all the time, since they can't see the doors anyways because of how dynamic lighting is set up. That would be kind of smart, actually. Whoa. There we go. Nope. And if I don't want to mess with having to use the Alt key all the time, I can always make it a drawing. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna put them in advance. Nope. Nope, you're not a... Which is a little bit more work, I guess, to go ahead and add these, but I have had players that are like, is that a door or is that not a door? Or like, did you forget your dynamic lighting kind of thing, or what? So, by removing the door art, essentially, we're basically removing that confusion about whether or not it's a door. We're just putting down a door frame. Alright, yeah. That seems like a good idea. Let's see. There. I mean, I don't know. Anything that can make the map read better for the players is good. Like, you want to cut down on the confusion whenever possible, because there's enough confusion in D&D, like, without the map kind of contributing to that confusion. If anything, the map should be preventing that confusion, which is the main reason that people like using a map. Because Theater of the Mind is great for like a roleplay heavy game, but or a game of like epic heroism where you're going to win all your combats and that kind of stuff. But if you're playing a game where there's stakes, you know, like you could die, I have found most people would like to know where their miniature is, you know, in relation to, or where their hero is in relation to that Red Dragon's breath weapon kind of thing. Again, not saying you can't do Theater of the Mind for everything, but yeah, there we go. All right. So, I think that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna probably grind out the tokens while hanging out with my kiddo, and then I'll drop them in before the game. But the thing itself is pretty much done there. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I might make a flaming skeleton. I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with their stats, and we have so many other flame-centric creatures anyways. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun adventure. I hope that they explore the swimming in lava mechanic. I'm not going to spell it out for them, so it should be kind of interesting to see what they do. All right, well, I've got a game tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. It will be, what is it called? Hosted on this channel, but you can watch it on the actual channel that'll be linked through the hosting. It's Storm King's Thunder. They are definitely nervous about continuing the campaign, so hopefully tonight they take the plunge into the end game content, but we will see. And then yeah, that's about it. Two games on Sunday, one game on Monday, game on Tuesday. D&D forever. All right, so I guess I'll see you around. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the ideas, and yeah, this adventure will be streamed, and it'll also be up on YouTube when it's over, so you'll be able to watch how it actually went down when all's said and done. So, alrighty, later, everybody.